Hello, back to the bottom. My name is Beast, and we're back with SenMomo. So it's already 11:15 p.m. I slightly forgot about the time. I went upstairs at like roughly 8, deciding, you know what, I should really just like take a shower essentially. I washed my hair only after because my father went to bed, so showering's kind of off the table. I then proceeded to just lie in bed for a few hours and completely wasting away and not noticing the passage of time, and now here we are. Whoops. So yeah, this one's gonna be a short one. I'm so sorry. Anyways. 30 minutes later, I stand in my room on the top floor of the Koja Flowers. Miyaguni is lying on my futon, her breathing labored. It was out of the question to bring her to an hospital after she attacked Empress E3. The magic could heal her with his magics, but he must be out drinking, so I can't reach him. Which means I have no choice but to treat her myself. As a warrior, I have knowledge of first aid. Call out to Miyaguni out of courtesy before removing her clothes. Well, I don't even feel the need to list the point where the censorship has to start. I'm still gonna, just for easy, fucking swift finding the goddamn point again. Anyways. Miyaguni groans in pain. Her nude form draws a gentle curve. Bathed in moonlight, her porcelain body is enveloped in a milky white radiance. I will actually, like, already I won't save here. I will take a screenshot of this in case no other CG shows up within, like, the next 50 minutes. And if nothing else shows up, well, I'll have some censorship for Cactus to do, I guess. Despite its alabaster appearance, my fingers sink into her soft skin with only the slightest of resistance. More than giving off any impression of eroticism, her body closer resembles a fine work of art. When I shift my gaze downward, I find a gunshot wound piercing her abdomen in 3 places. Unless I'm mistaken, Miyaguni should have been shot over 10 times. Perhaps the garment she was wearing has been enhanced by magics. Also, he said, like, oh, maybe it's an artifact. Also, like, it tried to give me a tutorial on how to do shit in the backlog when I tried to open the backlog just now. If she is from the Imperial family, it's entirely possible. I must get distracted. Need to get on with the treatment. When I start disinfecting her wounds, she jumps up with a start. Her tightly shut eyelids slowly open. I'm naked, she says. Miyaguni tries to brush my hands away. Miyaguni groans in pain. Also, she said, let me go. You can't dress your wounds like this. Also, earlier, she said, I'm treating her wounds, don't move, after she woke up. Miyaguni covers her chest with her arms and shuts her eyes tight. Exposed to my gaze, her skin flushes and begins to sweat. Though unavoidable, this is still surely embarrassing for her. Without a word, I focus on her treatment. Clouds slowly drift past the moonlight, illuminating her body. As the light and shadow dance across her skin, the minute undulations of her curves come into relief. Miyaguni mutters weakly. Why did you save me? And he says, because I didn't want you to die. When I saw Miyaguni's face stained with blood, my only thoughts were I have to save her. There's no further reason. Maybe more accurate to call it a primal instinct. When I was fighting the guards, I was perhaps someone other than myself in that moment. You're gonna turn me into the Imperial Police, she says. If I was, I wouldn't have brought you here. But you'd best not talk. You need to save every bit of strength you can. I rein Miyaguni in as she tries to ask yet another question. I finish disinfecting her wounds and wrap them tightly in bandages. Thank you, she says. You'll pull through this. Be brave. Miyaguni gives me a tiny nod and closes her eyes. She must have reached the limit of her stamina as she falls asleep without opening her eyes again. That's as much as I can do. The rest is up to her will to survive. Morning is soon approaching. Next to the fast asleep Miyaguni, I'm resting with my back against the wall. He knows Miyaguni's stirring. Okay, she's wearing clothes again. With half-open eyes, I see her slowly sitting up and arranging her clothes. Is she planning to leave? As I watch her, Miyaguni picks up the blade by her bedside. She pulls the blade slightly out of its sheath and stares at it intently. Bathed in the moonlight, her countenance radiates a tragic resolve. Miyaguni glances at me with a startled look. She stands with a snap, but she pitches forward before she can take a single step. I approach her and extend my hand. She slaps it away. Her pride seemingly forces her to stand up on her own, groaning all the while. I can't just let her leave wounded as she is. I move to block the exit. Wordlessly shake my head. I point my sidearm's sheath at Miyaguni's throat. Miyaguni purses her lips. After a few seconds of thought, she sits down on the tatami with a refined poise. Has she given up? She gracefully bows her head to me. I dismissed her story too easily last night, but now I sincerely want to believe her. If the person who reminded me of the joy of battle truly is the Imperial Princess, nothing could make me happier. Miyaguni slumps her shoulders. The first time I've met someone who knows what I did after parting ways with Hotori during the war. I hastily take my distance. Miyaguni timidly clears her throat. I might get my memories back. Unable to resist those words, I borrow the shop's van and we arrive at the place she specifies about 20 minutes later. Got out first and moved to the passenger side door. I support her unsteady figure from the side. I ignore her feeble protests and support her as we climb the hill. Gotta think, Red. I think I might have walked past someone who looked a lot like Miyaguni. Despite what I say, my heart twinges at this slight overlap of fates. Miyaguni stops in front of the Imperial tomb where countless emperors of ages past are interred. I face the tomb and lower my head in reverence. For any warrior, it is the most hallowed of grounds. Miyaguni speaks as though she is an entirely different person. I can tell she faces the grave with the utmost sincerity. She keeps her head bowed for a long while, murmuring silently to herself. Don't want to interrupt her prayer. I silently stand at attention until she finished.
共和国が攻めてきた時、あなたはここで私を守ってくれたの。
俺が？
あなたが。
Megumi stares meaningfully at me.
低級を出た後、私は共和国軍に追いつかれました。敵は100近くいたと思う。でも突然現れたあなたがたった一人で敵を蹴散らしてくれた。
See, so I did fight bravely as a warrior. I was always afraid that I'd fled for my life in the face of the enemy.
逃げたわけではなかったんだな。
逆よ、逆。あなたは戦った。私の知っている中で最も勇敢な武人よ。
Overcome by an immense surge of relief, all my strength leaves me. I've finally been relieved of one of the burdens I've always carried with me.
どう？私のことも思い出せない？
待ってくれ。
Thoroughly surveyed the surroundings. My memories still aren't coming back. That said, I did consciously pick out this location as a place of repose, where somebody remembers after all.
思い出せない。
そっか。じゃあこれはどう？覚えてない？
Megumi pulls a hand towel streaked with splotches of dark crimson. She must be confident as her expression is brimming with hope.
私の血を拭いてくれた手拭いなんだけど。
すまない。
Meguni's hands stop moving. Finally, she limply rests the towel on her lap.
本当に思い出せないんだ。
At that, Megumi casts her gaze
ど
downwards.
うして忘れるの？こっちはあなたを忘れたことなんて。
He starts to speak but suddenly stops himself.
いつかお礼を言いたかったのに。
惚れてくれたのかと思った。
そんなわけないじゃないの、バカですかあなたは。もう何なのよ、まったく。
Yeah, you really hear the Meguru there. Muttering to herself, she tenderly folds up the filthy towel into a neat square. She must have taken good care of it all these 3 long years.
期待に応えられずすまない。俺以外に血筋を証明できる人間は？
おこのぎならすぐわかるけど、彼は本当のことを言わないでしょうね。
他には？
皆粛清されました。末端の女官に至るまでことごとく。皇帝をすり替えるためには私を知る人間がいては不都合でしょ。
おぞましいことを。しかし顔を知っている人間が一人もいないなんてことが。3年前まで実際に低級で暮らしてたのだろう。
皇家の人間は成長するまで顔を公開しない決まりなの。呪いなんかを避けるためだって言ってた。
As a matter of fact, I really didn't know anything about what the Empress's children looked like. I thought it was a means to deepen the mystique of the imperial family, but I never imagined its true purpose was to repel curses.
おこのぎはそこを逆手に取ったってわけ。伊勢屋で世話してくれていた女官がおそらく私の正体を知る最後の一人。先週亡くなったけどね。
Issa is a city far to the west of Tenkyo. It's home to the largest temple of the empire, as well as a training grounds for many in the priesthood. It'd be the perfect place to go into hiding.
ねえ、私のこと信じてくれない？血筋は証明できないけど、でも私が第一皇女だっていうのは絶対に本当。お願い、信じて。
No witnesses and no evidence. Whether it's Hotori, the rest of the sworn blades, or any imperial citizens, none of them would possibly just take Miyaguni at her word. Even so, I cannot go against what my instincts tell me. When I say it, Miyaguni, my entire being was wreathed in a fervor of excitement. Every last pore of my skin, every last hair on my head was overflowing with an intense fighting spirit. My entire body was reigned over by a passion I've never once felt for Empress Hisui. In that moment, I was surely freed from the heavy chains that bound me. I have absolutely no reason to hesitate.
証明などいらない。君を信じよう。
Miyaguni's eyes widen in disbelief. She staggers forward 1 step, then 2. I grasp her thin arm to support her. She fixes me with a firm gaze.
信じてくれるの？
武人の勘だ。どうせ戦うのなら君のために戦いたい。
ありがとう。ありが ぱりあなたは最高の武人ね。
最高という保証はないぞ。
わかるの。好奇の勘であなたに会えたこと、大神に感謝します。
Miyaguni plays her hand on top of mine. It's moist with sweat, probably from her excitement.
共に血筋を証明できる方法を探そう。証が見つかれば道は開ける。
You tried and failed to assassinate Empress Hisui. No respectable warrior would hesitate to strike her down immediately, no questions asked. Even for our own safety, we absolutely must find proof of her
あな
heritage.
たが信じてくれるんだったら証明なんていらない。
No, you do.
今からおこのぎを。
暗殺には協力できない。
は？
Miyaguni stops moving.
もう一度言ってもらっていい？
おこのぎの暗殺には協力できない。
Miyaguni wordlessly let go of my
おこの
hand.
ぎを暗殺して、その後どうする？独裁者を暗殺すれば、指導者を失った公国は無政府状態になる。俺が共和国総督なら、公国を潰して、共和国人におこのぎの代わりをさせるだろう。そうなった時、一番被害を受けるのは公国民だ。
Even in the Sworn Blades, there are many members who advocate for Okunogi's assassination. The important job of talking them down is one of my responsibilities as the Inspector General.
逆進を野放しにしておくの？
倒さないとは言ってない。だが、手段は選ぶべきだ。国民を犠牲にする戦いに大義はない。
私の血筋を信じてくれるんでしょ？主の頼みが聞けないわけ？
いかにも、俺は君の臣下だ。だが、主の不明を正すのも臣下の役目。
ふざけないで。
Miyaguni doubles over in
無理
pain.
をするな。
触らないで。
Miyaguni swats my hand away. Her beautiful eyes smolder with indignation. Her fury is so palpable that it seems to set her hair aflutter.
私はおこのぎを殺す。
姫なら、公国の未来を考えてほしい。おこのぎを暗殺したところで、気が晴れるのは君だけだ。
敵討ちのために3年間毎日剣を振るってきたの。
どう言われても国民を犠牲にするのは間違っている。
黙れ。
Her sharp voice echoes across the Imperial tomb. And what a beautiful voice it is. Pure and commanding voice of authority possessed only by those born to stand from on high.
君が命令だと言うなら従おう。
初めからそう言えばいい。
しかしだ。
Interrupt
俺
Miyaguni.
は君に出会ったことを後悔しながら奴を切ることになる。あるいは不明の主に仕えた自分の不運を嘆きながらか。
Miyaguni meets my glare head on. I don't avert my
俺は
eyes.
君の臣下だ。それは揺るがない。だが、俺は皇家という血筋には仕えたくない。できることなら、主として尊敬できる人間のために命を捧げたい。
はいはいはいはい。つまり私って人間は主にふさわしくないってこと。血筋が高貴だから仕方なく従うってだけで、武人の身でそういうこと言ってくれちゃうわけ？
無礼は承知だ。今ここで手打ちにしてくれてもいい。
I'll fire my blade. This is no bluff. To choose a lord means to choose one to whom you pledge your very life. Never would hesitate to put my life on the line here and now.
なら遠慮なく。
Miyaguni takes my blade and soundlessly unsheathes it. She thrusts its naked point towards my chest, all in silent. The clouds part, that the purifying light of dawn illuminates the surroundings. I could also use this one as a thumbnail. Yeah, that's probably better than forcing Cactus into a censorship spray. Miyaguni doesn't move. The clouds part of the purifying light of dawn illuminates the surroundings. I don't think I read that. Her needle-like glare tries everything it can to cut through my resolve.
いいわ。その覚悟に免じて挑発に乗りましょう。
With the blade still pointed at me, Miyaguni eventually
暗
speaks.
殺をやめてくれるって顔じゃないな。
延期するだけ。3月20日の敗戦の日、私はあなたにおこのぎの暗殺を指示します。それまでに私が主にふさわしいってことを分からせてあげる。
分からせてどうする？
あなたが気持ちよくおこのぎを殺せるでしょ？
Miyaguni grins after delivering her proposition. So she still refuses to call off the assassination, huh? The anniversary of our defeat is just 2 weeks away.
なら俺は 期限までに暗殺を諦めさせよう。
無駄無駄。
君が聡明なら必ず分かってくれるはずだ。
なんとでも言いなさい。
She sheathes my blade and thrusts it back at me. When I receive it, Miyaguni relaxes her expression.
2週間の猶予は私を助けてくれたことへの恩返し。
過去の俺に感謝しなくては。
せいぜい頑張って。ちなみに血筋を証明する方法は一緒に探してくれるのでしょ？
もちろんだ。全力を尽くそう。
わかりました。よろしくね、時田。
Illuminated by the morning sun, her smile is so dazzling that I can't look at it without squinting. Just seeing this expression on her face makes me glad that I believed her. It'll take some time to make her give up this assassination, but strangely enough, I'm not worried at all. Rather, I'm overjoyed at the prospect of being able to spend even a little more time with her.
100点満点じゃないけど、あなたに再会できたこと、幸運だと思ってる。
俺もだ。
よかった。
Miyaguni sways on the spot. I support her before she falls over.
大丈夫よ。一人で歩ける。
主に無茶はさせられない。
I wrap my arms around Miyaguni's slender waist.
行こう。
We nod to each other and slowly walk forward.
体が軽い。
I remember when I first started fucking Taitoshika no Itsuchikai, and I actually saw someone talk about like, oh yeah, like the art style is kind of like a negative for August games, but they make really good stories. And I just sit over here like, what the fuck are they even talking about? The art style is like, I really like the art style. Like, I forget who said that, but brother needs to be smacked. Those days my body and soul spent bound up in chains feel almost like a dream. As I am now, I feel like I can leap onto any battlefield without the slightest hesitation. It's been 3 years since the war ended, and I may have finally returned to my rightful self. Now here's the question. Is introducing her to the Sworn Blades a good idea, or the worst idea possible? Because it could be a good idea, as in they believe her when it comes to the legitimacy, and she is convinced that maybe waiting with the assassination is a good thing because they have a plan in motion. However, alternatively, they are going to get so upset by her brash fucking audacity to claim to be the Empress's daughter that they try to fucking murder her, and consequently the main character, because he's probably gonna try to protect her. 2 of the clock in the afternoon. The manager straightens his posture in front of the sleeping Miyaguni. It begins a spell of healing. His low rumbling invocation reverberates through the room. The manager's voice is so different from usual that it gives me goosebumps. Magics are a worldly miracle left only to the Empire, capable of bending the karmic laws of the world with Omikami's divine power. The manager's hands are bathed in a faint light, a dim yet gentle glow, like the light of a firefly. Even the mere sight of it somehow sets my heart at ease. The manager passes his glowing hands over Miyaguni's wounds. The gunshot wounds, still swelling with fresh blood, slowly but surely grow smaller. This sight never ceases to amaze me, no matter how many times I see it. Manager flops down onto his back. His chest is heaving like he just ran a marathon, a testament to the strain the magic's placed on him. Miyaguni passed out the moment she got back from the Imperial Tomb this morning, likely from the combination of extreme tension, relief, and blood loss. After a while, the manager came back from stocking up at the market. When I seized him and asked him to retreat Miyaguni, it was only 7 of the clock in the morning. Ever since, he's been healing her, contending with the limits of his physical stamina all the while. Thanks to him, Miyaguni's injuries have gotten visibly better. By tomorrow, she should be recovered enough to go about her daily life without difficulty. When I asked the manager to heal her, I told him everything. His only reaction was, well, no point in doubting her. Can't tell if he's being admirably trustful or far too credulous for his own good. But at any rate, I owe him yet another great debt.
店長がいてくれて本当に助かり。がっくり。店長しっかり。
It's just his lifeless ragdoll body.
危うく根の国に旅立つところでした。
The manager wipes the sweat off his brow with a cheerful smile. He's gonna give me a heart attack one of these
し
days.
かしソジン君、彼女のことをほとりさんにはどう説明するんですか？まさか隠し通せるなんて思ってないですよ。
無論です。店長のように複数の女性とうまくやれればいいのですが。
人を遊び人のように言わないでください。あれはなんというか花屋のお仕事の一環です。共和国の言葉ではAfter service というらしいですよ。
After service!
どういう花屋ですか？
But reality of the Koja flowers is that many of our regulars really do come just for the manager.
ほとりさんを傷つけないであげてください。なんていうのは無責任ですかね。
Manager accepted Miyaguni immediately, but it definitely won't be so easy with Hotori. There's a knock at the door. That firmly yet polite knock can only be from one person.
では失礼します。
He's fleeing!
お
The manager cuts a dashing figure across the room and leaps out the open window. I love it when visual novels actually decide, you know what? This man makes this joke so frequently. Let's just go for it, even though I haven't been making that joke for fucking ages anymore at this point. We're on the second floor, you know. A sprightly fellow. Well then, time to get on with it. I stand up and walk to the entrance. When I slide the door open, I'm greeted by a very displeased Hotori.
そうじん、どうしてメールの返事くれないの？
すまない。取り込み中だった。
何時間取り込んで。
Hotori notices Miyaguni. Her eyes are clearly asking who's
怪
this.
我人を預かっている。引き合わせたいのだが、向こうにも説明が必要だ。少し時間をくれないか。
まあ、私は構わないけど。
では、10分ほどしたら連絡する。
Hotori meekly withdraws. I'm sure she'll kill time by chatting with the manager downstairs. Miyaguni sits up in the
友人
futon.
だ。それより体調は？
ずいぶん楽になった。はっきり覚えてないんだけど、店長という方が呪術で治療してくれたんだっけ？
ああ、後で紹介しよう。直接お礼を言ってもらえると助かる。で、だ。
Kneel down with her back straight right in front of Miyaguni.
どうしたの？
Miyaguni blinks her eyes in
さっ
puzzlement.
きの友人のことで相談がある。
ええ、どうぞ。
彼女は伊能ほとり。伊能家の当主だ。
伊能ってあの伊能？
ああ、彼女こそが武人の棟梁だ。
Since time immemorial, warrior society has been led by three houses. Referred to as the three founders, they are House Ino, House Maki, and House Sarashina. Each house has its own distinct blade arts and its own dojo to pass them down. House Ino's dojo is the Myogi-kan. The House Maki is the Kobukan. And House Sarashina is the Shisekan. Almost without exception, all warriors attend one of those dojos from a young age to temper their minds and bodies. But even among the three founders, House Ino boasts the greatest strength and is the house that produced the forefather, the progenitor of all warriors. Thus, the head of House Ino has long been considered the executor of warrior society. Even in the Sworn Blades, his arrangement has been carried
ほ
over.
とりとは長い付き合いだ。昔から世話になってる。
伊能の当主と親しいなんて運がいいじゃない。
Yaguni grins suggestively, probably expecting to get Hotori on board with her plan. If only it could be that easy.
私に紹介してくれないの？
君に合わせるには準備が必要だ。ほとりは絶対に君の血筋を信じない。
だって伊能は忠義第一の家柄よね。
だからこそ、現皇帝である翡翠帝への忠誠心が熱い。明確な裏付けがない以上、君を偽物として扱うはずだ。
つまり？
切ろうとする。
Yaguni's expression
正
hardens.
体は隠しておくのが無難だ。
でも彼女ってあなたの大切な人じゃ？
大恩人だ。昔の道場仲間でもあるし、記憶を失った俺の面倒を見てくれたのも彼女だ。
なら洗いざらい話すことにする。秘密を持つのはあなたが辛いでしょ。
I wasn't expecting to hear it to be this considerate.
それに伊能家の無人に信じてもらえないようじゃ私の未来も暗いし。
I mean, it will be very simple. If, after they save Empress Hisui, it turns out that Empress Hisui is not the daughter and she actually is, that's fine. If you rescue Empress Hisui and Akari turns out to be a liar, which we know she isn't, but, you know, execution.
うまくやらないとあいつは抜くぞ。
あなたは黙って見物してるの？
She asks casually, but her eyes are serious.
君を守る。
なら安心。
And my response, she smiles without the slightest hint of worry. I can't betray her
伊能家の無
expectations.
人なら腕も立つのでしょうね。
Miyaguni murmurs to herself behind my back.
俺より強い。
She just regretted that she stated so confidently that she's gonna tell her everything. Oh! Oh, you never once beat her? Holy shit, I'm gonna die! That reminds me, don't need this thumbnail, this CG anymore for the thumbnail, so let me just close that. And Hotri comes immediately after I call her. From the moment she enters the room to the moment she sits on the floor, I can't spot a single opening. She sits facing Miyaguni, considering the likelihood of Hotri drawing her blade to sit diagonally to her left. Hotri raised her eyebrows, sensing my
は
tension.
じめまして、宮国あかりです。
無人伊能ほとり
The two place their hands on the floor and bow. Compared to Hotri's neat and proper bow, Miyaguni's is graceful and refined. Goes to show the difference in her
伊
upbringings.
能家といえば名門中の名門ね。
そのように言われています。
宮国とは昨日の夜に知り合った。調査を頼んだ事故絡みのことだ。
Last night I asked Hotri to investigate the aftermath of the incident, as a chance Miyaguni and I are still being pursued. But according to the report she emailed me, it was resolved as a simple traffic accident.
交通事故じゃなかったの？
実際は暗殺未遂事件だ。狙われたのは小此木時彦。
Hotri's gaze grows sharp.
犯人は私。おこのぎはお母様の仇だから。
Hotri directs her unrelentingly steely gaze at Miyaguni. Miyaguni doesn't flinch.
母の名は周王帝。私は周王帝の第一皇女。ただ一人残された皇家の正当な後継者です。
Hotri remains still as a statue. Amid the leaden silence, her lust for steel billows within the room. It would be no exaggeration to say she's already drawn her blade. A weak-willed person would not even be able to remain standing in her presence. There's no way that someone of Miyaguni's ability will be able to dodge her opening strike. I'll have to block it. Cold sweat trickles down my
姫
spine.
君だという証拠は
私を切る？
返答次第。
あなたに切れるかしら？
Hotri is
証
silent.
拠は
ありません。
Not even an instant passes. I repel a lightning-fast quick draw with a quick draw of my own. Thrown off by its trajectory, Hotori's blade draws a single thin streak of blood across Miyaguni's shoulder. For a split second, I make eye contact with
ほ
Hotori.
ら、切れなかった。
Miyaguni smirks, unfazed by her shoulder wound. She certainly has guts. So I thought, but she can't fully hide the subtle trembling of her hands on her lap.
宗人邪魔しないで。
俺は宮国の言葉を信じている。
明確な証拠でも
これから探す。
ふざけてる？
Hotori's hostility grows even further.
姫を語るなんて許されない。
なら宮国に味方する俺も反逆者か。
Hotori's eyebrows twitch.
忠義第一じゃなかった？
今も変わらない。だからこそ宮国を守る。
証拠がないのに？
それでも信じている。記憶をなくしてからずっと俺は自分の生き方に迷っていた。歩いている道が正しいのか半信半疑だった。だが宮国に会って道が見えた。いや忘れていた道に戻れたと言ってもいい。
私が迷わせてた？
そういう意味じゃない。ほとりへの恩を忘れた日はない。
もういい。
Hotari sniffles quietly and sheathes her blade. She stands up as if to refuse any further conversation. I could tell nothing of what she feels behind her mask-like expression. Honest to God, you could literally just throw out the idea. If you wanted to control the nation, what would be easier to control? The actual heir to the throne who wants to fucking murder you because you killed their mother? Or a puppet? It would make sense to install a puppet leader that does not have that big of a grudge against you. That in and of itself speaks to her deep indignation.
待って。
黙れ。次会ったら切る。
With our talks at an impasse, Hotari leaves the room. For a while, the two of us can only stare silently at the door.
結局証拠がなければダメか。
ほとりは一途な性格なんだ。味方にできれば彼女ほど頼もしい武人はいない。近いうちにまたほとりと話してみる。
説得できる？
できることをするだけだ。
その根拠のない割り切り方が不安なんだけど。
武人はいつでも全力を尽くす。
いや、精神論じゃなくてさ。
After she delivers her objection, she sighs, seemingly having reached some
頼っ
realization.
ている私が言っちゃダメか。お願いときた。なんとかして。
わかった。
Even that simple order has me bristling with motivation. Seems like I'm a warrior through and through.
それと、さっきは助けてくれてありがとう。正直、立ち筋が全く見えなかった。一応は剣術をやってきたんだけど、少し残念。
異能の剣が見切られたら、それはそれで大事だ。
それもそっか。
Miyaguni smiles. She can't conceal the fatigue that floats to the surface of her expression. She might have received treatment, but she's still wounded, no wonder she's exhausted.
ほとりのことは俺に任せて。宮国は体を休めてくれ。
ええ、悪いけど、そうさせてもらう。
Miyaguni lays down in the futon. Miyaguni wakes up again just after 7 o'clock in the evening. As I attend to her, we discuss our plans moving forward. According to her, she arrived in Tenkyo about 1 week ago. While laying low at cheap ends, she looked into Okunogi and Empress Isui's whereabouts. The identity she used to register for accommodations was prepared by this Satonaka of hers for precisely such occasions. Fake identity includes a family registry of certificates of residence, academic records, and even entire fake addresses enough to fool any background check. Members of the imperial family don't have family names in the first place, so even the name Miyaguni Akari is just an alias.
本名は親族にしか明かさないしきたりなの。戦後はずっとこの名前を使っているから、今はもう自分の名前のようなものかな。
Miyaguni smiles from inside the
あ、
futon.
そうそう。私のことは名前で呼んでくれない？一緒に行動するんだし、親しみが持てた方がいいでしょ？
君が望むなら。では自分のことも宗人と呼んでほしい。
わかったわ。宗人？
For some reason, even though she's not the one having her name said aloud, she still turns red.
なぜ君が照れる？
いろいろ事情があるの。
Akari turns towards the window to hide her blushing
あ、
face.
そうそう。明日からのことだけど、宗人は日頃何をしているの？
職業ということなら学生だ。放課後は下の花屋を手伝っている。
学生？武人が？
She looks me over incredulously from head to toe.
武人廃止令で俺たちは身分も俸給も失った。法律上今はただの一般人だ。学院に通いもする。
This motherfucker is a student?
まあそれはそうかもしれないけど、でも武人が学生ってなんていうか。
So what, just because they have fucking swing around swords. They're not allowed to get an education. And didn't know you were so small-minded. Maybe it's better you're not on the... Okay, I'll stop. Before the war, warriors spent their every waking moment training in the martial arts. It's understandable that this new development doesn't sit well with Akari. But there's a good reason Hotori and I attend school. Hotori's father and chairman of Sworn Blades, Inoue Kokwandono, encouraged us to enroll. According to him, attending school with youths from the Republic could prove useful when it comes to eventually fighting them.
じゃあ平日は学生って。
いや、学院はもう退学しよう。今は君のことを最優先にしたい。
え、ちょっと待って。いきなりやめないでよ。
Akari sits upright in a
2週
panic.
間しかないんだ。時間を無駄にできない。
だいたい学院辞めでどうするの？
君の血筋を証明する方法を探す。それに君には天境の街を見て回ってもらいたい。街の実情を知れば暗殺がいかに無益なことかわかるはずだ。
無益じゃない。
He pouts with a sullen
それ
expression.
はともかく、だから学院を辞めなくても。
問題あるか？
Akari lets out a deep
宗
sigh.
人、あなた
なんだ？
バカでしょ。あと頑固。
Hey there, Pot. It's not that kosher to call people black so openly these days. Sorry, I don't know how to make that joke about like IS Pot calling the kettle black while also bringing in the racism joke from SO Abridged. It's kind of hard to do. Oh yeah, that's like a fucking quote. I don't know why, but I've been watching a bunch of Frostbreak videos of just him playing different different Bethesda games, like trying Elder Scrolls, trying like the different Elder Scrolls games that he hasn't played, all the trying Fallout and shit like that. And part of why I started watching him is because I got curious about Morrowind, and earlier today I watched his video where he played the Morrowind expansions of Elder Scrolls Online to compare how they looked and everything to the original Morrowind. And one of the things, like, in Elder Scrolls Online, everyone treats you normally. So when he went to talk to a bunch of quests for one of the great houses, and everyone just starts calling him Noir and shit like that, and just being genuinely racist because he's an Argonian, he just said that, like, I'm happy they brought in some racism again. And it's just like, that's a sentence out of context, isn't it? I mean, to be fair, like, racism is deeply ingrained when it comes to the Dunmer. Kind of uppity assholes. Like, you also almost gotta appreciate that, like, the uppity asshole elves aren't the high elves, but the dark elves, just because, like, it's literally baked into them. Like, the entire reason why they're dark elves because they were kind of uppity assholes from the beginning and were turned into dark elves. I mean, like, not entirely, but, like, it's close enough. I do believe you're kind of an uppity asshole if you kill a guy for using some tools, only to then use those tools yourself, and then wonder why your entire race is cursed. Fuck the Tribunal. I've been watching way too much fucking lore. Anyways.
そうだろうか。
そうだろうかじゃありません。
She pokes me in the chest.
私を優先してくれるのは嬉しいけれど、少し待って。
待ってどうする？
それは、よし。私も学院に通います。
You definitely decided that on the spot.
それこそバカか。目立ってどうする？
主に向かってバカとは何？大体ね、学籍は持っているし、世情を学ぶなら学院に通って損することないじゃない。
確かに、学院には共和国人もいる。
彼らがどんな気持ちで生きているのか、ぜひ聞きたいし。 敵を知り己を知ればってやつ。
Akari's eyes spark with curiosity. Seeing such a girlish expression, I can't help a grin.
何がおかしいの？
君は元気な人だ。
褒めてるように聞こえないから。
Akari looks at me with suspicious
いや
eyes.
魅力的だと言っているんだ。
Akari tries to stand up but clutches her side.
君は元気な人だ。
今度も褒めてないわよね。
もちろん。
屈辱。いたたたたた。
She's a girl failure, this one, isn't she? Akari lies down with a displeased expression.
ともかく明日からの行動は決まった。今日はもう休んでくれ。
そうした方が良さそうね。
俺はずっとここにいる。何でも言いつけてくれ。
身の危険を感じるわね。
武人が主に手を出すと思うか？
Warrior is his lord's blade, nothing more. For a mere tool to lay a hand on its master would be unthinkable.
そっか。そうよね。
何か？
何でもありません。
What, disappointed?
寝ます。寝るからね。
Akari forcefully dives under the covers. I suspect she was only pretending, but in a matter of minutes I hear slow, even breathing coming from her futon. She'll be relieved now that we have a plan. Tomorrow marks the beginning of my new life together with Akari. Never did I imagine I'd be attending school alongside the Imperial Princess, but this might be enjoyable in its own right. Now, I'd better make haste and arrange a uniform for her. Began searching for my tablet computer for clothiers that might still be open. Upset childhood friend? Nope, never mind. We're probably in Hisui's boots again. Either that or the spy they said they have in there. An eerie and ethereal aroma gently wafts betwixt the grove of vermilion lacquered pillars. The long shadows cast by the outside light whisper of accumulated eons of yore. Having come face to face with this majestic phoenix perched on her parapet, the summoned priestess cowers even further into herself. Empress Hisui sits on her throne. Her regal figure, lovely as a daffodil, leaves a deep impression on her priestess, even though they are of a similar age. This person truly bears the blood of Omikami, the deity to whom she dedicates her every prayer.
の箱ね。あなたを第192代五木の巫女に任じます。五木の巫女は呪術の根源を司る国家の要職です。重圧はいかばかりかと思いますが、体を大事に忠勤を尽くすことを願います。
Chancellor Okunogi Tokihiko steps forward from the long line of ministers. Face towards Kotane wordlessly holds out a letter of appointment.
謹んで拝命いたします。
Oh yeah, I immediately recognize this voice. Hold on. Repeat, repeat, repeat.
謹んで拝命いたします。
Kotane bows deeply. The exiled priestess is the head of the priesthood, chiefest amongst all 5,000 of its priests and priestesses. In the first place, the priesthood are practitioners of the tent of faith, which exalts Omikami and his progenitor gods as objects of worship. They learn magics through rigorous training, and they have worked closely with warriors in service of the Empire's defense since ancient times. Moreover, to the general public, they hold powers over life and death itself, be it childbirth, coming of age, malady, or quietus. On all occasions of great import, the common people flock to the temple in search of prayers.
なぜ私が
100% I know this voice, but I can't place it right now. It's pissing me off. Short hair. Like, short hair is at the very, at the forefront of what it's fucking telling me. Oh, Kotoriyuka. Yeah, I 100% know that one. I know Kotoriyuka. I know voice, at least, like... Yeah, she's someone in Renai Royale, at the very least. She's also Homura! She's Homura from Majikue. I fucking... I knew it. I knew it. And short hair! I was on the fucking... Oh, she's also Asaza from... Tsuji-san no Junai Road. Anything else? Oh yeah, she's also Inui from Aokana I shouldn't have said Inui right after mentioning Asusa, considering Asusa is also called Inui. Yeah, 2 Inui is kind of funny when I really think about it. Also Wakana from Sabre the Witch. And Alistia from Primal Hearts. Corona from Sky Full of Stars. Patricia from Noratoto. Mako from Senden and Banka. There's something else still. Someone from Nikoni Next Heart, but I'm not even mentioning her because it's been way too fucking long for me to remember anything about that game. So I'm probably wrong when it comes to that. Like, I don't remember from there. Oh, yeah, but yeah. Again, short hair, Ria. From Golden Love Riche. Oh, Ghost as well from 9-9. I do appreciate that, like, I can't place it. I can only remember short hair. Oh, she's also Yuna from Arena Royale, actually. I would not have heard that in that voice just now. Apparently someone from fucking Phantom Trigger as well. Oh, apparently fucking the little sister from Quintessential Quintuplets. I think that's the little sister? Yeah, it's the little sister. Main character sister. Yeah, like, I'm happy at least I'm not completely insane. That I at least remember, like, oh yeah, a lot of, like, short hair characters. Shorter hair, I should say. Like, yes, I wouldn't by no means say that the 2 Inuis have short hair, but definitely short hair in comparison to most anime characters. Like, anime characters go far lower. Like, they're, like, shoulder length, and for anime, that's short. At this very moment, the young girl being ordained to this high station is internally tilting her head in puzzlement. For the generations, only those who excel above all matters of scholastics, arcanery, and virtue have been granted the station of Exalt Priestess. Her excellent skills as a magicker aside, Kotana is well aware that she is somewhat lacking in strength of character. Moreover, the previous Exalt Priestess is still missing in action from the war, and even now it is unclear whether she is among the living. She wonders if it is truly permissible to ordain a successor in this situation.
ご先代様には投稿呼ばぬ未熟者なれど、粉骨細心務めてまいります。
よくよく励め、巫女殿。本日は大儀であった。
Kotana is ordered to withdraw, but she doesn't move a muscle. Finally, having made up her mind, she falls prostrate.
恐れながら、お尋ねしたいことがございます。
Well, another potential CG to use.
おう、聞こう。
ありがとうございます。
Kotana lowers herself even
ご
further.
先代様の消息は未だわからぬのでしょうか。
分かっておらぬな。いたわしいことだ。
Okunogi answers without a change in his expression.
では、開戦時除壁が停止したのはなぜにございますか。ご先代様が守られていたはずですが。
不明だ。
私に調べさせていただくことはできませんか。
難しい。共和国の許可が下りぬでな。
戦後、多数の巫女が消息を絶っております。調査をしてくださいませんか。
検討しよう。
Took Kotana a great deal of courage to ask these questions. Whoops.
最後に一つ。
These questions to Okunogi, they hardly seem worth his concern. Courage withers each time she hears another of his terse, disinterested responses.
巫女殿。
Okunogi strikes the floor with the tip of his boot.
五の巫女の仕事は民の平穏のために祈ることだ。匙に心を惑わされぬよう。
Just cloister yourself at the temple and avoid sticking your nose where it doesn't belong. Kotana understands Okunogi's thinly veiled imperative. Okanogi is insinuating that there's no need to oversee magics or the barrier as all the previous Exalt priestesses have done.
から私のような未熟な人間が選ばれたのか。
Kotan understands, but deep within her, the spirit of defiance rears its head.
死者の平穏を預かる者としてお願いがございます。敗戦の日に樹の巫女の名で戦没者の慰霊を行う許可をいただけませんでしょうか。
不要。
死者を悼んではならないとおっしゃるのですか。
くどい。
Kotan hangs her head. Her body quivers with humiliation.
下がれ。
Kotan does not
聞
move.
こえなかったか。
He still does not move. The audience chamber is set abuzz by the girl's unexpected show of courage.
巫女殿、恐れながら申し上げます。私としては下がりたいのですが、緊張で膝に力が入らなくなってしまいまして、膝だけにニッチもサッチもいかないと。
Whoop! Finally burst out the bottom. Yeah, definitely need a new carton here. Yikes. Do you have one around? Doesn't seem like it. What am I supposed to stab now then? Well, aside from this one, but this one... I have to get up to stab this one. Get up and walk, I should say. Still have to get up to stab that one. But it's not such a big distance, you know. The taciturn atmosphere of the Imperial Palace pierces into Kotone.
その共和国の言葉にて膝はニートまさかの当たりありがとうございます。
The land is hallelujah!
陛下、お下がりください。
ミコ殿、大義でした。
Empress Hisui retreats from the audience chamber, barely managing to suppress her laughter.
かと思ったよ。
The strings of her tension cut Kotone limply collapses into a heap on the floor. Monday morning, 5:30 of the clock. It's the end of the part. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. See you next time. Bye-bye.